kiti sanguya na yo.
Zambe nanguya, kiti sanguya na yo. Zambe nanguya, kiti sanguya.
Distinguished guests, friends of the United Nations, ladies and gentlemen, happy United Nations Day to you all. Today, we celebrate the 74th anniversary of our unique organization and its founding document, the United Nations Charter. And I thank the permanent mission of the State of Qatar for bringing to the United Nations its national orchestra and the wonderful women and men who will perform for us today. This concert is a traditional highlight of United Nations Day. It is an opportunity to remind ourselves, through music and art, of our shared humanity and the values we hold in common. At a time when inequality, discrimination and dehumanization are growing around the world, celebrating our diversity and recognizing how much we share with our fellow women and men is more important than ever. And the theme of today's concert, Building Prosperity for All through Culture, Education, Gender Equality, Sports and Sustainability, reminds us that we have little more than a decade ahead of us to achieve the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. In these last months, I warned world leaders that we are off track to achieve the SDGs by 2030 and that stronger and more ambitious action. And gender equality is an important goal in itself, but it's also a catalyst to achieve all the goals. The meaningful participation of women makes peace agreements stronger and development programs more effective. But we still see structural discrimination everywhere, including in the arts. Representation matters, so I'm delighted to see that women are leading today's performance. The composer of today's music, Dana Al-Fardan, the pianist Ala El-Amadi, and the vocalist Aisha, and the conductor Amir Noune are pioneers and role models. I'm always fascinated by art and culture that crosses barriers to bring people together. That is surely one of the highest achievements of any artist, and I look forward very much to this afternoon's program. Before we appreciate the music, I would like to thank Her Excellency Ambassador Ali Ahmed Saif Al Thani, Permanent Representative of Qatar, the players of the Qatar Philharmonic Orchestra, and all involved in today's concert, and the very important participation of the Qatari Minister of Foreign Affairs. Finally, today, we are also looking ahead to the next year, when we will celebrate our 75th anniversary. We will be holding a global dialogue about the United Nations of the future, aiming to stimulate discussion from classrooms to boardrooms, and I urge all of you to contribute. Today and every day, let's celebrate United Nations and work together to realize our shared vision of peace, sustainable development, and human rights and dignity for all on a healthy planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General, for your inspiring words. I am now very pleased to present a video message from the President of the General Assembly, His Excellency Mr. Tijani Mohamed Bande, who sends his regrets for not being here in person this afternoon, but I hope you'll be inspired by his words.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank the Permanent Mission of Qatar for bringing music to the General Assembly Hall, a place where we spend most of our days striving for harmony. I apologize for not being with you this evening to enjoy the beautiful music of the Qatar Philharmonic Orchestra. You and they mark the coming into force of the United Nations Charter. The first 3 words of this document set the stage for all we do, we the peoples. Indeed, we must ensure that we include all peoples in every facet of our work here at the United Nations. That includes women, youth, older persons, people with disabilities, and those ostracized by their communities. We must ensure that we leave no one behind. To that end, my priorities for the 74th session of the General Assembly are the promotion of peace and security through conflict prevention, poverty eradication and zero hunger, climate action, access to quality education, and inclusion. Dear friends, just 1 month ago, world leaders gathered here in the General Assembly Hall. As I listened to the speakers in the general debate, I formed the distinct impression that multilateral cooperation remains an accepted and reliable method of managing relations among nations. As we approach the 75th anniversary of the United Nations, I'm heartened that we remain committed to the ideals of the founders of our organization. I wish you a wonderful evening celebrating UN Day.
It's now my pleasure to welcome to the stage the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs of the State of Qatar, His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. معالي الأمين العام للأمم المتحدة.
In the name of God, the most merciful, Secretary General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome creation through films, through building cultural bridges between peoples. We are proud of the fruits of the work of the Qatari delegation. It's our pleasure to host this event. And it's also a pleasure for us to host some very eminent women in our country and in the institutions working in our country. I would like to thank everyone who's been involved in this event, and I'd also like to thank the Doha Fund for Cinema and all of the artists who are here with us this afternoon. In those countries that support the United Nations, that honor its engagements, and so that we can stand side by side with the international community to try to rid the world of conflict, to ensure that we together can honor our commitments and to meet the noble objectives of this organization. Thank you very much, and I hope you all enjoy the concert.
Our final speaker before enjoying the concert is His Excellency Mr. Hussein Al-Tawadi, Secretary General of the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy of the State of Qatar. And before I welcome him to the stage, I wish all of you a great concert. Now over to Mr. Al-Tawadi. The floor is yours.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Al-Amin
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, artistes, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor.
Nous avons gagné, vous avez perdu. C'est bien fait pour vous.
One of the very few vehicles that genuinely transcends borders, languages, and culture. A beautiful song or an uplifting score has the power to joy to people young.
touch you right where you are. Push not, pray until something happens. Always produce wonderful results. This is a prayer that brings instant deliverance, instant healing. Whatever kind of breakthrough you desire, may the Lord give it to you right where you are in Jesus' name. You raise your hand unto the Lord. Let us worship together. Say, Father, I worship you. Father, I bless your holy name. There is no one to be magnified like you. There is no one to be glorified like you. King of kings, Lord of lords, Ancient of days, I give you glory. I give you honor. Abba, Father, I bless your holy name. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, you are wonderful. Counselor, mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, the I am that I am, who was, who is to come, the Almighty, the bright morning star. In you there is no darkness. Let the light of your face shine upon me. Drive out my darkness. Let the light of your face shine in my life. Let the light of your face shine in my house. Every darkness go. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Glory be to the name of the Lord. Go ahead, worship the King of Kings. Give him glory. Give him honor.
Chance to introduce my music to you. My compositions are a very particular blend that is inspired by my country, Qatar's rich culture that we touch on and that we explore. Our gender equality, community, cohesion, economic growth, dialogue, and human resilience. Music is a universal language that transcends physical and cultural borders. Creating Fatma Ramehi for creating the films that will be accompanying the music. That was very emotional. I had several moments during the rehearsals. And I'm very proud to be representing my country in the build-up to the World Cup. We're at a very momentous occasion, the renaissance of our time. And I would like to acknowledge the Qatar Philharmonic Orchestra that was founded by a great female leader, Her Highness Sheikh Hamza bint Nasser al-Misnad, who has led women into the public sphere and changed the narrative for women in so many places around my region. And I'll always be grateful to that. The Qatar Philharmonic Orchestra is dedicated to promoting Western as well as Eastern music, encouraging creativity amongst adults and children alike around the Arab world. And most importantly, it's creating world music through a Qatari lens. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the show.